Hey everyone, it is Monday and I'm heading out to the Pentas garden. We're gonna fill in that little empty spot. I have a couple things I found that'll be perfect to stick in there. This is the empty spot right here I'm referring to. Right in front of the planter we worked on. And look, those salvias, they're starting to make a comeback. So I have a couple things I'm gonna put in here and fill this all in. First thing is, I have this random pot, kindly being modeled by this little lizard here. And it's got some tropical sage that just came up in it, but what else it has in here is a porterweed. I think it'd be really pretty to add a porterweed to that garden, except I'm gonna chop it out and trim it down and shape it so it doesn't get super tall like most porterweeds. It'll look like this one over here. See how this one is really full, but it's not super tall. This one's in a pot because I keep trimming it, and so instead of going up higher, it spreads out and it actually makes it get a lot more blooms on it. So we're gonna try that in there because I love, like in this pot, look what I have together, porterweed and red pentas. I love that combination. I've said it time and again, this is where it all started. These were my originals way back many years ago. And I still love them. Porterweed is not native here, but I love it. And I've had it forever. And it'll come up in my garden in random places, and I tend to just pluck it out and stick it in a pot, which is how that porterweed got into that little pot. And then I just sit the pots around, and that's how the tropical sage just started growing up there. And you know what? I'm just gonna put that whole pot all together as it is right in the ground. And we're all ready to go in the ground. Look how pretty that is. So here's a little before. And then we'll put it in. Okay, and there it is in there. Still have lots of empty space. I also have lots of red pentas. So I'm gonna fill in this empty space with a few of my red pentas that I grew because that porterweed's gonna come up and I want some red pentas nearby for those colors to combine. So I've got one set there and one set there, but I still have space. I have this pink one that I was gonna put in that little hole right there, but that hole is not near as big as this hole. So I think like that one's red and that one's red, and now there'll be red behind it. I think maybe a pink one right there. I don't know. Since that yellow's there, that pink is more of like a cool toned pink. I wish I had one that was this fun, super bright pink. That would go better with that bright red and the yellow. I think this cooler toned pink probably would go better right back here with this like lavender where I was gonna put it. Let me see. Yeah, I like that there better. All right, so then let me go look around. All right, I'm over in this corner where I was just showing you that porterweed, and I'm thinking that potted lantana right there, that gold, probably be beautiful in that spot. And then I can find something else to put there because this is kind of backing out of the way, and that lantana is popping. It should be out. So let's try and see what it looks like. But first I'm going to get these two red pentas planted. Okay, so there we go. But before I move that pot over here, I want to get back in there and trim back this lyre leaf sage so it can grow back, hopefully. Hopefully. If not, hopefully it drops seeds and they'll come back because it was hanging right over this spot. All right, and there you go. I don't see any signs of life. I have transplanted these before though, and they have made it. So, oh look, there's a tropical sage. Let's see. Just make a little hole for you right there. There you go. All right, and then these are the tropical sage transplanted. I'm just gonna trim off the dead. Oh, let me talk about this thing too while I'm trimming. Okay, so that burbeth I told you I put there, and I said I like it back there because it's kind of ugly, cheap plastic. And look at this guy. What are you leaning over for, sir? You're beautiful. Let's get you upright. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. Wow, that one really, it was looking bad the other day, and it's just like a champ come back. All right, so anyway, that bird bath gets used so much. I think I bought that on Amazon, and I might get another one, and I'm not sure I have it in my Amazon storefront, so I need to go look and add it. If you have an out of the way place, oh, look at this one. What are you doing leaning all the way down there? Let's get you up here. There you go. That's better. Oh, that's so much better. Look how much better that looks. Okay, so if you have a place where you could put something like that, I highly suggest it. There's something about this bird bath they love. I'll be working in my garden room and I'll just hear birds out here splashing away in this thing. And anyway, because look, there's a confritillary. Especially if you're in Florida, this time of year is very dry but hot. We're going to get up to 88 today. Later this week, we're going to be in the 90s. So, birds need water. So, as many water sources as you can get. Insects, too, in your garden will be fabulous. Like, I have a bird bath here, and they use this one regularly, too. But, like, these are big and expensive and very heavy. But if you want to just order something real quick on Amazon, I highly recommend that other one. It's one of those little prong stands that you just stick down into the garden. And I think the little bird bath piece itself just screws onto it. It is very easy to put together. So highly recommend that. Get lots of water sources in your garden for everything that's living there, and make sure you keep them full. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing. I'm just delighted to see this golf fritillary. Let's keep watching it because I have some other things to tell you. I saw a red admiral yesterday. I was sitting out here in the garden, did not have my phone with me, got no pictures of it, but my husband was here with me and he saw it too. Yesterday I also saw an eastern tiger swallowtail male fly through the garden, and then there was a monarch laying eggs. We'll get up to the milkweed garden a little bit later in this video. I'll show you what I'm doing now to protect my milkweed. Of course, I've always got something new going on. There's another golf fritillary on the other side of the garden. Hang on. Now that one I'm sure is a female, and I think she is laying eggs. Well, now she's getting some nectar. That's another porterweed that's in a pot. Actually, you know what? I should plant that porterweed in that garden space too, because I could use that pot for zinnias. Maybe I'll plant that over there too. Just shove as much stuff in there as we can. See this? This is a tiny, tiny passiflora incense, and this is what the butterfly was just on. And I said, oh, I think it's laying eggs, and there's the egg. So we'll just take that in and put it in a floral tube and keep it safe. Oh, and that other one hatched. Oh, y'all, I have so much to show you. Okay, let's go put this in and I'll show you the other one, and then we'll get back to our project. Unless I get distracted by something else. I love that these bees, I'm seeing more and more all the time. Oh my gosh, I love it. See, and the little golf fritillary that just laid, this egg that's in my hand, still flying around. You will find more. It's coming up all over the garden, little Miss Ma'am. Keep looking. See, I brought this little stem in yesterday because I found, look at that little baby golf fritillary on it. So I'll put this little one in with it. Okay, there we go. There's the egg. And there's the baby. Now, I put the one I brought in the other day in a little pot, and this is the one that had the little egg, and I said I'd show you when it hatched, and you see the little baby caterpillars underneath that little leaf. Right there. And we're not going to talk about the fact that these two are in my garden room also. Yeah, we're just not talking about that, but they're adorable. Oh my gosh, and while we're here, I have to show you something else. These white indigo seed pods, look at them. They keep getting fatter and fatter. I want to pop one so bad, but I'm resisting, but I'm checking them every day because, I mean, they look like one of those things that'll pop and the seeds will go flying. So I want to catch it before it gets to that point, but I know the seeds are not ready yet. I know I did not get these on this plant last year, so I'm so excited to potentially be getting seeds because I do love this plant. But I really, really am just dying to pop one of these. I mean, look, it's as big as my thumb. Don't you just want to pop it? Okay, I'm not going to. All right, we're back here. I think I'm still going to move that pot over here, see how it looks. And then that other porterweed, you know, I have the space over here, right down there. And I think that would be a good place for it to grow up with the Darrow's blueberry behind it. Actually, I think that'd be beautiful. I'll just have to make sure I chop it so it stays low. I don't want to get tall and block the Darrow's blueberry, because I think the Darrow's blueberry is just such a pretty backdrop right here. I love the shade variations of the leaves. See how they get like a purpley tinge to them, but then down lower they're more like a bright green. I just think that's a really neat Florida native plant, Darrow's blueberry. And it does get blueberries. And this Elliott's blueberry, remember when we planted this? And I moved it around because I planted it in the wrong spot. It's really happy here. It's really filling out and getting lots of new leaves on it. Also, while we're here, in my lignum vitae pot, there are these coming up, which I thought were tropical sage, but as they get bigger, like this one, look how big the leaves are. And then this, look, it's got that, which that doesn't look like my tropical sage. So we're just gonna watch and see what it does. It could, I mean, there's a lot of different types of sage. It could be some other type of sage, but how it's randomly coming up in this pot, I don't know. I don't know. There's some of that coming up too. And that, those are weeds. But I don't think that's a weed. Oh yes, you guys, look. Look how pretty that lantana is in there. But there's still room for something else. There's room for a couple things. I want it full. So, oh, you know what we could put right there? Let me go get it. It's actually right in there. See that pot? That's one of the pots I did of zinnias and a Mexican sunflower. And they're probably ready to get out here in the sun. So let's put that in that spot. It's been hanging out in here. Let's see if I can get it with one hand. Oh, in my collection of pipe vine for the babies. And then I'll trim that Mexican sunflower regularly when it comes up to get it more flowers and so it won't be so super tall. Oh yeah, that's going to be quite nice in here. Okay, so now there's a couple of things growing in here with this porterweed. There's parsley, don't ask me why, and there's this, which is probably an Elliot's aster. So I have to get my shovel. What's that? Is that something too? Oh, that's just part of the parsley. Okay, so I'll have to get my shovel and carefully extract this porterweed from this pot and move it into that garden. All right, extricated the porterweed, and I pre-dug a hole for it, so let's go put it in its new little home. Look how pretty those little purple flowers are. I love them. That is going to be a perfect little spot for it. I just have to remember to come back and trim it up regularly to make it fill out before it gets too tall. It already is kind of trimmed out. It's got several branches. All right, so now I have this pot. I said it would be great I could put zinnias in it, but I have this very happy parsley in it. So I thought, well, I have these two unhappy souls from Joyful Butterfly. They're more unhappy because of me, not Joyful Butterfly. This one I moved out to acclimate and I forgot to bring it back in. But I think it'll revive once it gets in a pot and gets a really good drink. Same with this fennel. Oh my. Oh, the snake. Did you hear him? Oh, he's so loud. He's back there. Does he have something? Is he eating something? Did you catch a lizard? I don't see him anymore. Oh, I didn't scream. Okay, the snake interrupted me. I don't even know what I was saying, but I'm gonna put these two little guys in here, and I've turned my hose on. I'm gonna go water all that new stuff I just put in that other garden, and I'll give this a good drink. And then I had something dying in a pot over there that's now empty, so we're gonna find something to put in that pot. There. Okay, everybody settled in. You stand up. You stand up. Okay. Oh, look, I happen to have two dowels here. Let's crisscross them. And then we'll just lean you in there so you can stand up. There. Okay. And he'll get up eventually. And we'll just kind of leave this right here in the shade so he can recover. And that'll be fabulous. You know, when I water, I stand and look around, and I have thoughts. That's a little miniature bird bath. Did I get that on Amazon? I might have got that on Amazon too. I'll have to check. But we use it as a dog water bowl. It's wonderful. It was back farther. I just moved it out because the Pentas kept growing over and in it. But in doing that, it occurred to me, like, this whole section here, let me back up there. This whole section here does not have to be dirt. And so I could take those two logs that are kind of like a border and swing them out wider and put a couple potted things out here, because back around the bend here is my tractor seat plant, and it's really growing beautifully, and I want to get it out front and center so I can see it. Let's try that, and we'll see how it does there. Now that the bald cypress has got its little leaves on it, all this over here gets really good shade now, so I think it'll tolerate being out front pretty well. I just have to do a little leveling off. But I think that'll be nice. Okay, so here's a before from this angle. And here's a before from this angle. Now I'm really only moving a couple things, so I'll just come right back with an after. You'll see what a difference it makes. And I'll have more garden space. That's always a good thing. Okay, here we are after. The entry to the little stepping stone pathway is narrower, but it's fine. And I extended out the little wood border. Got 3 new, well, they're not newly potted, but they're haven't been there before, potted plants. I put the one I just did right there. Those will perk up, the parsley and the beard tongue and the fennel. That is, well, let's just go see. That is one of the ones I brought from Romance Gardens last year. It's coming up back, and that is a Georgia aster, which will be beautiful when those purple blooms are. It'll just match right in with these plants. I can never remember their name. I mean, I know they're a salvia sage, but it's like indigo something, you know, that one. But that'd be really pretty. It'd be like purple on this side and purple on that side. And this buddleia, when it blooms, I like it. And now we have the tractor seat plant out in front, so when it blooms, I'll be able to sit in my garden chair and watch butterflies visit. All right, I just moved this little pot of zinnias. Look how gorgeous this one is. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Anyway, I just moved it over here to my little workbench, and I'm going to see how low the soil level has gotten. So I'm just going to kind of like hold them together and then fill in around with soil. And then I'm going to move this pot into my nectar garden right over in there. And this pot came from that white dish. So I have a couple of my other planter pots that I did with the Mexican sunflowers and the zinnias in my garden room. Oh, look, there's a Gulf fritillaria over there. I love seeing them in my garden again. I could cry. It makes me so happy. They're just here. I got to get those zebra longwings back. But I'm going to bring out one of those pots and put it in that white dish where this little planter was. Oh my gosh. I didn't put too much soil in because there were some little seedlings coming up. I had tossed some seeds in this pot, so I didn't want to completely bury them, although they probably would have poked through. So let's see, who needs dead? Oh, you're ready to be trimmed. All right, let's go. Oh, you're ready to be trimmed. See, and there's some new buds coming in. So just keep trimming them and trimming them when I usually let them get super scrappy because I just do. See, there's a little empty spot right there. Look how nice that fills in. I'm going to clean up this pot of zinnias and put it in there too, because gosh, I liked that one so much. Look, there's a little skipper. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. Is it a fiery skipper? Oh, that might have been one of those little Brazilian skippers. Oh, I think they're bigger than that. I don't know. It was a skipper. Okay. So look at what a difference, like adding that one little pot, and we're just gonna set this other one right here. Look at all the color. I love it. And then look what's growing in on the corner. That's a Mexican sunflower. And look how big the leaves are. It's going to be one of those big ones. And it does not need to be right by the walkway. But I just told you earlier there was an empty pot over here. It's right back there. I'm going to put it in there and we'll see how it does. And success. I was able to dig it out and keep all its soil wrapped around its little roots and just plop it down in here. And a little wild petunia came with it, so that can grow in here and fill out also. All right, let's hope it makes it. Look how pretty that is. Oh, I love it. Just adding a few little zinnias. Just some more flowers. Just, oh, the color. I love it. Okay, let me go grab my 2 pots inside and I'll come on out and put them on the little bowls. And they're not like flowering or super tall yet, but they'll get there. Okay, now we're going to talk about milkweed. I'm still having a problem with the rats. Remember when I pulled the bottles off of the milkweed and then one of them was a zinnia? The next day that milkweed was gone, eaten down to the stem. In my planter up front, the raised bed I put my milkweed in, they've been going in there and getting up over the back side of the planter because there's some shrubs back there that they could climb in. So I've got a new thing in place and it seems to be working. So let me show you what I'm up to now. This is copper mesh and rats don't like it. Here's the label of the package. I bought it on Amazon and I'll link it in my Amazon storefront that you can find in the description under this video. And it seems to be working. Like I wrapped all my new potted plants in it, but I also have it running along the back side. So if they were to like try and climb up like in the shrub to get over, they're gonna feel it on their feet and not like it and go away. The front side of the planters like too tall and they can't grip the side, so I don't think they're getting in there. I used all that I had, so I've ordered some more. It should be coming later today, and I'm going to make the back section even higher because this is crazy. There's monarch butterflies flying around looking for places to lay their eggs, and had all of my milkweed been able to grow when it first started growing back a while ago, I'd have lots of it. But now it's all getting eaten down every day. So it's crazy. It's just crazy. And these rats need to leave my milkweed alone. I do have that clustered mountain mint, and I did get 2 more, and I'm gonna plant those towards the back of this raised bed because I think they're getting entrance from the back, and we'll see what happens. So the problem with this is yeah, it's protecting the plant, but when the caterpillars need to leave, like to molt, I don't want them to get stuck in it. So I'm gonna take this off of these and actually plant them in the bed. And then I'll use what's here to start adding the higher layer. And I'll be back to show you what that looks like. Because if those rats were to come eat this milkweed, they would get all the baby caterpillars that are on it too, and that's ridiculous, you guys. I just can't have that anymore. Okay, so this is where we are. I've got the copper mesh going up to the height of the shrubs, and I've got, this is the original mountain mint, and I've got another one there, and another one there, and another one there. So, oh, please let this work. Just please let this work. It's Monday evening. I'm out here watering, and I was looking back here at my star anise, and I was like, what is that red back there? And it's blooming. Let me go climb back there and show you up close. I think this is our 3rd year with this, and it's blooming. How beautiful. And look at my wild petunia. Look at all the little flowers on it. Of course, it's blooming on the back side of the plant, But look, there's little red flowers. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Look at that. Wow, it was worth the 3-year wait. Look how pretty. I have a feeling, I'm sure, that I'm going to get more flowers. Just for some reason, started down there. I'm literally standing in all of this wild petunia, and every step I take, I think, please don't be there, Mr. Blacksnake. But I'm glad I came back here because oh shoot, who are you? Oh, I was just thinking his name, and now when I have to say it, I can't. Anyway, this little guy that I'll remember, it needs a little trellis because it's all leaning back. So I'm going to go grab a little trellis for it. Look who I just found. A little golf fritillary baby. Just plucked this whole plant out. I'm going to take it in. And not only that, but there's an egg too. Yay! All right, now I'm going to go get my trellis. And look how big these guys are getting. This is my middle group of golf fritillaries. I have 3 that are in their chrysalis right now, and then I have this group here. I'm not sure how many are here, and then I have those new little ones and eggs I brought in. I am getting these guys back. Okay, I got the little trellis in, and why can't I remember the name of that plant? I feel like it starts with a K, like Kearney, Knockwurst, the Knockwurst tree. Something about wood. Oh, I feel like I'm on one of those game shows where you're trying to guess the name of something that you know, and you just can't think of it. What is that plant? Oh gosh. All right, I'm giving up for the moment. Do y'all see that? Of course, they just went off to the neighbor's yard, but how lovely it is to come out to my garden and see 2 monarch butterflies swooping around. Okay, it's Tuesday, and this video is going up tonight. We're just going to go check the milkweed and some of the things that I potted to see how they did through the night. Let's check the things I potted down the garden because that's where the monarchs are. Maybe I can get a better shot of them, and then we'll come check on the milkweed. All right, this is the first little porterweed with the salvias, and they are unfazed by the move. The zinnias look like they are going to have to adapt a little bit, but these Mexican sunflowers, I forgot, are the dwarf ones, so they should stay smaller. I won't have to worry about trimming them. But this pot, I think it's going to be okay. It's just going to need regular watering. It's getting definitely more intense sun here, but these flowers are supposed to be able to handle it. The lantana, gorgeous. I mean, it just got moved in its pot. It should be fine. The Mexican sunflower, this morning it was upright when I brought the dogs out, and now it's drooping a little, so it probably just needs more water, but I think it's going to be okay. There's a little golf fritillary. Oh my gosh, I love seeing them. These 2 guys aren't looking so great. That's that little coneflower. But I'll give it another drink. Sometimes, like the salvia, everything has to look like it's dying for a day or 2, and then all of a sudden it'll just pop back up. Everything else is looking lovely. Those beautiful red pentas. My red pentas keep selling out at the Nectar. I just took a batch last week and they're gone. So I got to get busy. I just love watching the monarchs fly, the way they swoop and glide. Of course, it's up hiding in my bald cypress tree. I have so much more to show you, so much more to tell you, more projects to do. I still haven't shown you the plants that I bought. I still have things to unbox, and this video is full. So, you know, Friday's just around the corner, so tap the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and I'll try and get us caught up. But you see my head jerk. I heard a rustle, but it's just a lizard. I feel like now the season is upon us. It's going to get busier and busier, more active. There's caterpillars in my garden that I haven't even shown you yet. So stay tuned and tap the thumbs up button to show you like this video. And I will see you in the next one. Never mind, this video is not over yet. That's a Gulf fritillary, and that's a rouge plant, and that was a monarch that just shoot it off. Monarchs are already getting territorial in my garden, but growing up in that rouge plant is a passiflora incense, so that Gulf fritillary is probably trying to lay eggs on it. But, oh, look, the monarch's right there. Hello, beautiful. It looks new. It does, though. Look at it. It's gorgeous. I didn't show you the milkweed and see how it survived through the night. So we're going to go over there in a minute after we're done watching this beautiful monarch butterfly. It's just resting on a chunk of regrowing spice bush. Also, look at these. They're even chunkier today. Look. What are they, like little fruits? I love just watching native plants grow and see how they work and function as I add them to my garden. But here's the other ones. Aren't they fabulous? They're bigger today than they were when I filmed them. Was that yesterday or the day before? Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, I want to pop them still. Okay, look. Milkweed all seems to be intact. I do need to water though. Those little mountain mints need a drink, but that's easy to take care of. I'm actually going to go do a ton of watering right while I'm waiting for this to do all its work and I finish editing and upload. So let's check and see if the caterpillars are still out and about. Caterpillars, where are you? I mean, look at all the munching that's been going on. Surely there's caterpillars on here somewhere. Please tell me they're not gone. Caterpillars. There's an egg. There's another egg. Oh my goodness, no. Well, you know, it could have gone on to another plant. I think there were 3 or 4 of them out here. And then those 2 that I have inside that were just, you know. Oh, there's a baby and an egg. There's another egg. There should be a bigger caterpillar though. There's 2 more eggs. Oh my. See what I mean? The monarchs have no place to lay their eggs because rats. Rats. Where are the caterpillars? Oh my gosh, I'm just seeing lots and lots of eggs. All right, let me go dig around and I'll see who I can find. I hope I can find somebody. All right, here's another one. But I tell you, this morning when I came out with the dogs, there was a bigger one and I don't see it. And that's sad. It wouldn't be rats. It could be any flying insects, wasps, the lizards. I mean, there's so many things that get these guys. Okay, well, you know it is possible that the caterpillar left the plant, go somewhere mold. It could show up again. We're going to hope that's the case. All right, this is the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to go get this up so you can watch it tonight. Bye, everyone.